What's going on, everybody? Knowledge is self-determination. So I just wanted to make this video real quick to highlight the injustice system of the United States of America, the racist, white supremacist tendencies of the judicial system in this country, and to basically highlight the fact that most white people in this country are going to do whatever they can do to preserve white supremacy. With the Me Too movement, for instance, that was hijacked from a black woman, because we know black people's voices are seldom heard in this country when we've been violated. Black men and women. White supremacist women have hijacked that movement now, and now they have started attacking men and powerful men in high positions. Now, they didn't stop with any racial issues when it came to who they attacked. Harvey Weinstein, that clown from Seventh Heaven, and Donald Trump, what's the kid, Bill O'Reilly from fucking Fox News, Matt Lauer, and just to name a few, right? Now, all of these men have been charged with the same crimes as Bill Cosby. And Phil from the Advice Show did a really good video on the Cosby situation, and he actually presented some information in there about what actually happened in the trial. Like one juror saying, "Can't we just convict him already and go home?" They were not interested in this man's guilt or non-guilt. They were only interested in putting a black man behind fucking bars. And that's what the Me Too movement has done. Because Harvey Weinstein has yet to go to trial. Bill O'Reilly was allowed to leave Fox News with the full ride, full pension, everything. He was able to leave, retired, and nobody is taking him to fucking court. Because of course Fox News paid off all the women that Bill O'Reilly had assaulted, right, and violated. Trump, another womanizing scumbag, is now the president of the United States, and white women voted for him. What, 75, 80% of white women voted for this motherfucker? He's a womanizing, misogynistic piece of shit. But Bill Cosby's the only one that deserves to go to prison for what all those women lied and said that he did. The trial was a fucking farce. It was a complete and total fucking farce. It was bullshit. And it just goes to further show how corrupt the fucking United States judicial and legal system is. The penal system also. It is all encompassing. And it's ran by white supremacist pieces of fucking shit. I'm going to leave you guys with this. People say that the KKK is dead. White people actually believe the KKK is dead. That they've gone underground. They've disbanded. But you can go into pawn shops and museums and shit and see Black Panther jackets with bullet holes and knife slashes and dry blood on them and shit like that. But where can you actually find any Ku Klux Klan outfits and uniforms? They don't give them up. They hand them down. And even in today's world, they haven't given them away they've handed them down. They haven't given them away. All they've done is took a sidestep and traded in the hood for a police cap. Trading in their white robes for a blue uniform, right? Or a suit and tie, because we know the KKK, look at our government. Look at who is in the White House. And look who's supporting him in the White House. And it doesn't matter whether you're Democratic or Republican. The two sides of the same fucking coin. And neither one of them give a fuck about black people. But the KKK are now your judges. They are now the attorneys, prosecutors, and defense. Right? They are the senators. They are the governors. They're the mayors. You understand what I'm saying? They have gone from burning crosses and lynching black people to crucifying us in court and sending us to prison forever. Oh, and they lynch us in the street because the same dudes that was lynching us, stringing us up from trees, are now in the fucking street shooting us in our backs with guns. You understand? We just took this threat and made them even more dangerous. And this is part of the railroading of Bill Cosby and any other black celebrity who gets caught up in this whirlwind of this bullshit Me Too movement. These women are allowed to take an actual legitimate cause and turn it into a fucking modern day witch hunt for black men. Bill Cosby was railroaded, and that's how I feel about it. White people say they want true justice in this world, in this country, but they don't do shit to stop the fucked up versions of themselves. Their family members, their cousins, their brothers, their sisters, their aunts, their fathers, their mothers, their grandfathers, their grandmothers. They don't do anything to stop the white supremacist that lives next door to them, or in their house, or in the bed with them. It's supposed to be everybody else's fight. But the only people that can get rid of white supremacy are white people. And you know why it will never go away? Because white people realize they have that privilege and they don't want to lose it. Because they know, just like we know, if you look at the actual numbers from the FBI, that white people commit more crimes in this country than any fucking group in this country. Than any group in this country. Right? So let's hold a sharp contrast. Bill Cosby is sentenced to 3 to 10 years in federal prison for a debauched case where the witnesses were proven to be fucking liars on the stand. The woman who actually accused them is a fucking liar, and she'd already been paid off once. Millions of dollars. The man bought her a home, paid her way through college, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? And we have all these other white men that I named. Matt Lauer, Harvey Weinstein, blah, 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 so on and so forth, and that clown from Seventh Heaven. All these white men were accused of doing the same shit that Bill Cosby did, but nobody is putting them on trial for the same shit that Bill Cosby did. Excuse me. In another video that Phil from the Advice Show did, talking about a white man in Alaska, and I'm going to end it with this. The women who accused Bill Cosby were proven to be liars, and they were made to look so in court. The jury was shown to be biased. Everybody was biased in that situation, maybe except his defense team. There was a white man in Alaska who picked up a woman, drove her to some obscure place, choked her out until she passed out, masturbated and ejaculated on the woman, waited for her to wake up, and then told her that I was never going to kill you. I only needed you to think that I was so I could get off. Sick fucking white boy. When you hear crimes like that, you already know who the perpetrator is. You already know who's done it. When you hear the crime, you know who did that shit. The man is caught, arrested. He spends a year in prison. He has 4 felony charges and 1 misdemeanor count. He spends a year in prison and then gets gets all this good time added while he was in prison and got to come home on the box and spend another year on home monitor. He lost his job, but watch the video that Phil did. The prosecutor was actually speaking on his behalf. The judge was speaking on his behalf. They didn't want to ruin his life. The woman was so traumatized by the fact that this man was not actually going to prison, she didn't even fucking show up to court. This is a dude who was actually caught doing what the woman said he did in today's world, in contemporary times, and he only did a year in prison. But America seems fit to give Bill Cosby 3 to 10 for a bitch that lied, and that's supposed to be fucking justice. I'm gonna tell you right now, if this shit stands and there is not outrage from all the quote-unquote good white people out there, then I'll go on record as saying that there are no good white people, just like there are no good cops. You can't be a good cop and still have a badge. The only good cops are the ones who give that shit up. If you are a white person and you're not fucking appalled or disgusted by this, you people need to be out in the fucking streets talking about this shit, protesting this shit like you would if a black dude killed a white chick. If you guys are doing anything less than that, you want this shit to happen. So I usually say that all white people aren't the same, and they aren't. But if you guys aren't making it a point to put this shit on blast, then how much better than your shitty ass counterparts are you really?